Welcome to Crime Update Files, with your host Acha in London. Yes, guys and girls, I am your host covering true crime stories from London, UK, and special cases worldwide. Further appeal in Bexley Heath stabbing. Detectives investigating a stabbing in Bexley Heath, which left a man seriously injured, are making a new appeal for witnesses. Police were called at 2:35 HIS on Saturday, the 19th of November 2022, to reports of stabbing at the junction of Lion Road and Bexley Heath Broadway. Officers attended along with the London Ambulance Service. A man, aged in his 32nd, was taken to hospital in a serious condition with a stab wound to the leg. The injury has since been assessed as not life-threatening. Two men, aged 24A and 25B, were arrested on suspicion of wounding with intent and were subsequently bailed to return on a date in late February pending further inquiries. A third man, aged 25C, was arrested in connection with the investigation on the 25th of November 2022. He was also bailed to a date in late February 2023. Anyone who can help the investigation is asked to call 101 quoting CAD 800 and 1919 November. Appeal following firearms discharge in Tower Hamlets. Detectives investigating a firearms discharge in Tower Hamlets are appealing for witnesses and anyone with footage to contact them. An investigation was launched after police were called at 17:35 HIS on Wednesday, April the 26th, by a member of public to reports that a firearm had been discharged into a vehicle in Blair Street, E14. Officers attended and no injuries were reported. Initial inquiries suggest the suspects responsible for the shooting were masked and traveling on e-bikes. Detective Inspector Matt Freeman, from the Met's Specialist Crime, said, "We know that when this incident happened there were members of public and vehicles driving nearby. Officers are keen to speak to anyone who witnessed the incident or who saw or heard anything suspicious at around that time. Also, if you were driving in the area, did you record something on dash cam? Then please call Crime Desk on 101. Investigation ongoing following murder in Brentford. 10 people remain in custody following the death of a man in Brentford. Officers have arrested 7 men and 3 women, whose ages range from their mid-teens to their early 60s, on suspicion of murder. Police were called at 5:15 HIS on Wednesday, April the 26th, to reports of intruders at an address in Brentwick Gardens, Brentford. Officers, London Ambulance Service LAS and London's Air Ambulance HEMS attended. At the scene, a man, aged in his mid-40s, was found on the street with serious injuries. Despite the efforts of emergency services, he was sadly pronounced dead at the scene. Homicide detectives from the Met's Specialist Crime Command continue to investigate. Detective Chief Inspector Sal Minhas, who is leading the investigation, said, "My thoughts are with the family and friends. 10 people have been arrested on suspicion of murder, and the inquiries will continue until those responsible are brought to justice." Next, man convicted sexual assault. A man who carried out a series of sexual assaults in Haringey more than 20 years ago has been convicted following a Met investigation. Kusakanam Fuka, 34, 28. 2.89 of Ridge Road, Haringey, was found guilty at Wood Green Crown Court on Wednesday, April the 26th, of 3 counts of attempted rape and 7 counts of gross indecency with a child. The court heard how between January 2002 and January 2004, the defendant, who was aged 13 and 15 at the time, sexually assaulted a child on a number of occasions at a residential address in Hornsey. The victim, who was aged between 10 and 12 at the time, reported the assaults to police in August 2020 and an investigation was launched. He was supported throughout the process. As detectives built trust with the victim and other witnesses who knew Fuka around the time of the offending, they began to compile a strong evidential case. This was also supported by information obtained during forensic examination of Mfuka's phone. As a result of the evidence they had collected, the Crown Prosecution Service authorized charges against Mfuka in March 2021. He will be sentenced at Wood Green Crown Court on Friday, May the 5th. Detective Sergeant Miles Bossman, from the Public Protection Team in North London, said Mfuka's crimes can only be described as predatory. He abused the trust of the victim who was known to him, and repeatedly sexually assaulted him, without any remorse for his actions. The victim was vulnerable by virtue of being a young child. The verdict shows that such abuse against children will not be tolerated, irrespective of time elapsed. With the support of his family, faith, and the community, the victim showed immense bravery and courage in supporting a police investigation. I would like to thank the victim for his strength, and the many witnesses who provided evidence. I hope the conviction goes some way to providing closure after what must have been a disturbing experience. The Met encourages anyone who is victim or witness to sexual assault to contact police regardless of when the incident may have occurred. There is zero tolerance for such serious offenses, and we will investigate regardless of time elapsed. This conviction serves as a reminder that those who commit such horrific offenses will be found and justice duly be served. Thank you very much for taking time out to be watching our true crime videos. If you enjoy what we are doing, please subscribe. It is absolutely free.